First, let me address for-profit colleges, right? Listen, I'm not any defender of for-profit colleges. Nobody's giving me anything. Nobody's giving me any money. And really, all colleges are in it to make money. Let's just be clear about that. You can look at the endowments of other places and all that. But I was watching a video, and I put the screenshot up here about this guy who was going in about the University of Phoenix. And he was calling it a degree mill, a diploma mill, and all this other stuff, right? So first of all, a diploma mill is a place is defined as a place where you don't actually take any classes. You just send money in, check, however you pay for it, PayPal, whatever you do, credit card, and they give you a diploma back, right? That's it, right? You don't put in any type of work. That is not the case with the University of Phoenix, and I'm assuming with with many other places. Yes, the University of Phoenix has had its troubles. Yes, it's had its problems. Yes, it's had to return money and all this type of thing. I that's been problematic and all that. I'm not excusing any of that. It is what it is, and you gotta kind of deal with the reality of the situation. So I got my bachelor's degree there, and I graduated in 2012. So I actually went to a community college, got my associates, and I went for a bachelor's degree and went there. So the first thing you need to know about for-profit colleges, and is it right for you, right? Is they're built for adult learners. Walden University, Capella, University of Phoenix, and probably countless others. I don't know which other ones there are out there. But they're built for adult learners. In other words, people who have careers and or maybe want to return to school to get their degree, or they want to change careers or expand their knowledge base or something along those lines, right? That's the reason. That's the purpose for them. That's the reason, and that's the purpose for them. There was a cop car behind. So I was, yes, if you're trying to be a psychiatrist or trying to maybe you have a degree in social work, maybe, and you want to go back for MSW, or you want to expand somehow and along those lines. That's when you would do something like the University of Phoenix. I have a friend whose wife was a registered nurse, or is a registered nurse, and she went back to the University of Phoenix and got some kind of teaching nursing degree or something like that. It was either another master's degree or supplementary or some certificate. I don't know. But now she's qualified, and the hospital that she was teaching at. What the heck? The hospital that she was teaching at reimbursed her for going, or paid for her to go. So, and now she's qualified, and now she's teaching other nurses to be nurses and all this kind of stuff, right? So let's address the first thing, that you don't get a quality education, right? You get into it what you put into it. Of course, you can get a quality education. I took psychology classes, and it was based on a 5-semester or 5-term, however they worded it, semester term. That's how long each class was, 5 weeks. I personally think that was way too short. However, it is what it is. You did one class right after another. It was aiming to bang it out in the mandated 2 years. So discussion boards were twice a week. Listen to the workload that we had to do, right? 2 discussion boards a week. Each discussion board, obviously, I had to read something. It was a required reading from a book, which I didn't like, that you didn't get to keep the book after. I didn't like that. It was a digital book. You didn't get to keep the book. Okay. So, required reading to read this book. You had to answer 2 discussion board posts. Each discussion post had to have something from the book to show that you actually read the book. For a reference, I'm saying. For a reference, you had to provide something from the book and something from a peer-reviewed academic journal. Not CNN.com, not a blog, not Fortune magazine, not Business Insider. Peer-reviewed academic journal, period. That's what it was. And constantly was getting points taken off because I didn't follow directions until I caught on about how to do this thing. 2 of those. And then you had to respond to 2 other individuals. Then you had to respond to 2 other classmates for each discussion post. And in each discussion post that you responded to had to have a peer-reviewed academic journal. Preferably a different one, although I don't think they really took off points. You could have probably used the same ones. So think about that. And each discussion post, there's a lot of traffic today and stuff. Each discussion post, I believe, had to be 120 words. This is for bachelor's degree. Initial post had to be 120 words. Or maybe it was 200 words. I can't remember. And then maybe 80 words, 100 words for response, right? In other words, some type of substantive, posts. That was twice a week. So those were really papers, right? If it was like 120 words, but you got to respond to 2 other people, it's really a paper. When you think about it, right? It's really a 1-page paper. 1-page paper, and then every week there was a paper. And we had 2 every 3rd and 5th week. There were group stuff. So first week you had a paper, 1 to 2 page paper. Second week 1 to 2 page paper. Third week was a group project. The 5th week were group projects. So that's what we had to do every single week. That's a lot of work. Reading, finding peer-reviewed academic journals. Now think about if you're an adult learner, you have kids, you have jobs, a responsibility, maybe your parents are elderly, etc. Got to take your kids to football practice, basketball practice, piano lessons, whatever your kids' activities are, if you do that type of thing, right? You got to do that. Cook, clean, take care of other responsibilities. So listen, this idea that they don't do that, right? That was University of Phoenix. Then I went for my bachelor's degree. I went for my master's degree at Walden University, another for-profit. Walden, theirs was 8 weeks, and then Phoenix was back to back. Every class, once one class ended on Sunday, next Monday was a new class till I graduated. I think maybe they gave us like a week off around Christmas time or something like that. In between classes, it was crazy. Every vacation I went on, my laptop was there every time for any honeymoon or anniversary. It's crazy. Go to Walden, they at least gave us, I think, 2 weeks in between classes, or every 8 weeks, then 2-week break, then we back to it. I think I took 1 or 2 classes at a time at Walden. I can't remember. I graduated from there in 2014, quite a time ago. And I'm sure that all this has probably changed a little bit. So there, the Walden, same thing. Now they're going for master's degrees, so they're a little bit more. 300 words, right? Which is a 1-page paper. 300-word discussion board. You only had to respond to 1, maybe 2 others, I think. I can't remember. It was either 1 or 2 others. Same thing, peer-reviewed academic journal, whatever reading from the book. 1 reading from the book. So the initial response was at least two references. 1 from the book, 1 from a peer-reviewed academic journal. Response was from an academic journal. Now, I had been used to doing 2 at Phoenix, so to do 1 was a breeze, and then we had to do a 1 to 2 page paper. Breeze right through master's degree. I can tell you firsthand that of my degrees, bachelor's at the University of Phoenix was the hardest. Number 1, because the time frame, and the number 2, and the amount of work, right? It's hard to digest that, but you get it done. So this idea that you're not working and all this, and let me also talk about the instructors there, right? So I had anything else, you got good instructors, you got bad instructors, but I had just one instructor, and like I wrote something and I gave a reference for it, and this dude was like, "Where's this reference at? Can you send me this article?" Not like he couldn't go to Google or click on the link or whatever I sent as a reference. So it was definitely the correct APA. But so he basically didn't believe me because it was like a brand new article. The article had just dropped like if it was in May, like it dropped like in January of that year, right? So it was a brand new article, and he wasn't familiar with it. And it was, remember, this is psychology class, so he's probably thinking I'm on a top echelon of academic learning and and you got this article that I never heard of, right? What's up with this? And my technique, and I always suggest this to everyone, is save your PDFs, save your academic journals, right, to your laptops or whatever. That way you can always have them, read them at your leisure and all this kind of stuff. Particularly, if you, I just think that's a good idea. So that's that. So I sent it to him, and all that. So let me talk about the negatives here, right? There are definitely some negatives. There definitely are some negatives. One of the biggest negatives about going to the University of Phoenix was you don't get that student interaction, right? When you go to a traditional on-campus, right, you're sitting in classes with people, you can go to lunch with them, you can hear about what they do, you can see them on campus, play intramural sports with them or whatever, right? Particularly if you're younger, right? And you don't get that kind of bonding. And I know that they try to do that in different cohort type of things where you go through people, but it really is not the same experience. Really just kind of get in, get out. You log on for a little bit, then you log off, and you're not sitting there in a cafe and all that. And they do, in many schools, Phoenix does try to do that, right? There was, I think it was actually called the cafe, where people just come and hang out and have different discussions. I remember getting into it with this guy about religion. it was kind of interesting, right? But most people don't have time to sit around and chatting and all that kind of stuff because you're already busy with life. So you miss that type of experience. The price of it is the second point that I would say is a negative. At the time that I was going, University of Phoenix was extremely expensive. I mean, it was extremely expensive, and of course with the scandals and all that just made it worse. Like their financial scandals and having to repay student loans and what was the other one? Oh, about I think not helping people after they graduated or something like that. I don't remember. It was like 2 or 3 scandals that they had to deal with, which quite an embarrassment. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that was okay or right, or I mean, it was obviously very, very bad. So the financial thing, the scandals, yeah, the finances was just bad. I mean, all college is way overpriced, but University of Phoenix for an online school, I think it was like on par with like Harvard or something like that for per credit hours or something. It was just like, what are we doing here, right? So yeah, what's the negative? Another negative, I talked about the student interaction, in gaining accolades and peers and stuff. But another big thing is, right, is you kind of want to bond with your teachers or instructors, and I don't like being rushed through. Like I think that was very, very problematic. And University of Phoenix was so big, right? It's like I think it was like something like 400,000 students at one time or something like that. So it was so big, right, and all these different instructors, right? So they're just kind of moving you in and out. It's like a robotic, mechanical process here, right? Okay, you're student number X, Y, and Z, whatever, and you just got to keep moving. That is not a fun experience for people who want more of an experience with their instructors. And I can remember, right? So I would email instructors like in another class, like if I moved on to another class, and I'm emailing instructors from a previous class, and they wouldn't respond. And listen, I've had that problem in other classes as well. When I was in master's and even in my PhD program, like that is not good, man. That is not good. And I don't know if I'm looking for a survey right now for my school. That is not good. That is not good, man. You want to build cohorts, friends, allies, make connections, whatever. And to have people not emailing you back, nah, that's no good. All right, so I think I ranted about this enough, right? So you get into it what you put into it. The University of Phoenix does provide quality education. They do provide feedback for whatever you're going for, and I'm going to put up on the screen right here, right, some different connections. Here's different connections that right, you go, and this is from LinkedIn. This is LinkedIn connections, right? thousands and thousands of people, right? And you can see that I put in for the University of Phoenix. You can see that, I mean, I'm sure if you type in Capella University, you can see all the different people that went there, and you can see chiefs of police, and I know that there's nurses that go there, right? So this idea that you can't get a quality education, and that as soon as you put University of Phoenix on a resume, they're going to throw it right in the trash, and or Walden or Capella or I think Strayer might have been in trouble though. So I'm not trying to advance any of these. I can only stand up for Phoenix and Walden. I cannot stand up for the scandals that Phoenix has gone through. It is what it is. But as far as getting an education and just being a degree mill and people graduating and coming out and you don't know what you're doing, again, this is for people who I would not advise it for people who have no knowledge about anything and just want to get this particular set of skills. I would not advise it for that. I think that if you're maybe in a bookkeeping job and you may be, in the city where I'm at, right, they have different levels of accountant. And maybe you already are an accountant one, right? And you want to go up to the next level for more pay, so you want to become an accountant two. And in order to become an accountant two, you need to get your bachelor's degree. Then yes, go there for that because you already have a working knowledge about what it is, and this can help further you for that. That is the place for it to be, right? For police officers, for nurses who already have this knowledge about what you want to do and you're a busy working adult, you don't have time to go to brick and mortar school, the University of Phoenix or Walden or any other place that has criminal justice degrees, go there. Yes, absolutely. But if you don't know anything about criminal justice and you want to just walk into university, I wouldn't advise that. One of the reasons that I didn't go now I graduated from University of Phoenix. I was going to go there for my master's degree. And the reason I didn't go, because I didn't, first of all, they didn't have, I don't know if I want to continue with psychology. I can't remember. But I was kind of debating between psychology and getting a master's degree in criminal justice because I was a cop. So I was gonna, when I was talking to them, I think I was on the phone with them, and they were like, oh, you got to kind of take this prerequisite group of classes, right? So it was like a year and a half to get a master's degree, but in order to get before the year and a half started, I had to do like 4 months of a couple of classes of a prerequisite. And I'm like, wait a minute, you guys can't waive that? I'm already a police officer. I've taken these classes in police academy. We don't give any allowances, right? So that kind of inflexibility turned me off, right? Very robotic, very mechanical, very inflexible. That is not good. It should be a case by case basis. And again, this is 2012 that I'm having this conversation. More than 10 years ago, right? So they might have changed it. I don't know. You got to talk. But I didn't appreciate that inflexibility about the University of Phoenix. So I'm giving you pros and cons here, right? So you got to make your own decision. So I think it's good if you're in that field. I think it's good if you want to advance your whatever and your experience. So let's just say, for example, you are an accountant. I don't know, or maybe an IT person, right? So I'm speaking now to the fact that they see your resume and they throw it right in the trash. If you don't have any work experience, then maybe it would be disrespected along those lines, right? You don't have any experience in IT. You went to this school and now you want to apply for a job. I could see somebody wanting to do that. Maybe they've gotten burned. But if you're in this field, right? I'm an IT guy, and maybe I got my associates, or I went to some degree certificate program, and I'm IT. I'm working in IT, and now I went back to school and got my bachelor's degree in IT because of my experience, and now because I got my degree, I think that a hiring manager would be foolish to throw you away because not only do you have the experience, a certificate, or what in my analogy here, you got the experience, you got this, and now you got the degree. Why would they not look at you or somebody else from a bigger school? I can't see that, But I think you got to choose your degree wisely, be in that field, and that's what you got to do. Looking to change careers, don't have any work experience, that can be a little iffy. So that's my spiel about the University of Phoenix. Let me know your thoughts, your opinion. It's not a scam. It's not a degree mill. You do have to work. You do have to submit stuff. They do plagiarize check. They do plagiarize check information. At the time they were using a program called Turnitin, or a service called Turnitin. I don't know if they're still using that. Other schools that I went to were using something called SafeAssign. Same thing, plagiarism checker. And matter of fact, one of my classes, actually, I was in two classes where we got announcements saying, "Do not plagiarize. Somebody's got an academic probation right now," and there was somebody else where it was a group project, and their group project plagiarized some stuff, and it was affecting all of our grades, all 5, 6 of us, however many were in this group project. And I'm like, man, what the F, man? I know I didn't plagiarize this stuff. Like, who's in here doing it? So somebody stepped up and said, listen, don't take anybody else. Don't punish anybody else. It was me. I plagiarized it, right? So I appreciated somebody stepping up, but they caught it, and they weren't dealing with that type of stuff. So so that's a little bit of my spiel. This is meant to be a random conversation, but that we're having and all that. So let me know your thoughts, your opinions about the University of Phoenix or any other school. And I know somebody right now who's a high-ranking executive in a college who is going for their doctorate at Capella University, and I think she's being reimbursed by the school that she's going to, and they're going to pay her more and all that. These degrees are respected, right? She's teaching at an on-campus brick and mortar traditional school with an MS. I don't know where she got her MS from. I don't know if it's brick and mortar or traditional online. I don't know. But I know she's going right now to Capella. She has a family. She's a high-ranking official, and she is getting her doctorate from Capella. They are respected. They are respected. So again, here's some different stuff, and there's a lot of people who are on LinkedIn. And I may even include, yeah. So let me know your thoughts, your opinions about all that, and much love and peace.